Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Carson.
And today we are watching Haikyuu episode 2. What happened last time?
Last time, our boy Sho Hinata graduated middle school, moved on to Karasuno High School, and Karasuno High School is now going to be on the team with Kageyama, the black-haired king of the court, who takes everything way more seriously than everyone else. I was gonna say last time, I really relate to that. Have you ever been in a school project? Like, I wasn't the best student, but it's really relatable to like just be so frustrated that you're the only one who gives a shit.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how their thing turns out, and to meet the other team members. That's gonna be nice too.
That's gonna be interesting.
I like the pacing so far.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see, because they're both so determined but in very different ways. Like, you know, one of them's just so like, yeah, I love this so much that I want to keep doing it, and then the other one's like, this is the most serious thing of all time. They're taking it seriously but in different ways, so I'm interested to see like how that conflicts with each other, even though they both want the same thing.
Yeah.
They have different ways of showing that.
Yeah, and they're also like a perfect match in terms of each other's abilities and what they want out of a teammate.
Yeah.
So, you know, it'll be really interesting to see how their relationship goes going forward.
But it's funny because Hinata has spent his entire like time since losing training up. I'm gonna beat the king. I'm gonna get into this best volleyball high school. I'm gonna work my ass off to get here. And then one day my team will play his team and then I'll show him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment. Maybe engaging with these early videos for this new series will really help us out, and we would really appreciate it. Also, if you want to, we have Patreon where we have uncuts for this and many other shows, as well as you can get a week ahead on the edited versions. So check that out if you're interested, and enjoy. Let's go.
I gotta set up the surround sound for this. The music's really nice.
It's really nice. It feels very, very homey, like. I like how they have the same shoes. When they just have the same shoes that they were using before.
Oh, right.
When I feel like they would have gotten new shoes.
Maybe they just got the same ones.
Yeah, that's also true. They're their favorite style.
You don't want to change what works.
That's also true. He's built this guy up like a super villain.
Oh, so it's not the best school. This fucking guy.
I like the other guys. Friendly, approachable, the one guy.
Is this beyond scared straight? What are you trying to do to him?
Do you want to go there? Because before, on their team, they had someone who was really short. Oh, they remember him.
ちんたらしてたらまた3年間棒に振るぞ。なんだと。
What could he like? I don't understand. Like you're assuming so much.
Yeah.
Or did he? But he did. Like he did.
He tried his best.
What could he have done more?
1v1, let's go.
パスとかパスに勝ち負けがあんのか。聞けやこら。騒がしいなバレー部。
Oh no, Vice Principal. Does he doesn't want to fund the fucking volleyball team? Boys volleyball.
その一本も顔面だけど、俺だっていろんな人たちと練習してきたんだ。去年までの俺とは違う。去年とは違うか。
Prove it.
去年とは違うぞ。
Did he get humbled or something by not being able to get into the other school? He was all cocky like, "Ugh, yeah, listen to me."
行くぞ。ジャンプサーブ。去年の普通の。
Ooh, that animation though.
Damn.
That was nice.
女子にもおばちゃんにもいねえ。どこが去年と違うんだ。もう一本。
Like a harsh serve.
Nice. Aha! Oh no! Oh, this is bad though. Oh no. Oh
That's so bad, but it was so funny.
Okay. About his fault. Okay, Daichi, give him what they. Yeah.
少し聞いてほしいんだけどさ。でカラスノに来たかは知らない。けど当然勝つ気で来てるんだろ。はい、もちろんです。カラスノはスーやトップを争えるチームだった。一度だけだが。でも今はよくて剣で特別弱くも強くも王からの呼び名は落ちた人を呼べないカラス。カラスノが春高で前回た時のことはよく覚えている。たまにそこらですれ違う高校生が東京のでっかい体育館で全国の猛者たちと戦っている。鳥肌が立ったよ。
There's like crows in every shot. I'm pretty sure that's what Karasuno means, or it's like their team mascot.
Yeah, he said that they were called the clipped crows by like other people.
Oh yeah, well because they used to fly
Yeah.
really nice, but no. But it's like I think that's what Karasuno means, is what I'm saying.
とりあえずの夢として掲げてる高校なんていくらでもありますよ。心配しなくてもちゃんと本気だよ。そのためには チーム一丸とならなきゃいけないし。
Well, you just got two badass members, so.
中学の時にネットを挟んだ敵同士だったとしても、今はネットのこっち側同士だってことを自覚しなさいって言ってんのね。どんなに優秀だろうが、一生懸命でやる気があろうが、仲間割れした挙句、チームに迷惑をかけるようなやついらない。 互いがチームメイトだって自覚。部活には一切参加させない。
They're
Better get it
both just
together.
so ready.
チームメイトの自覚って何？どうやんの？知るか。入れてください。バレエやらせてください。影山とも仲良く。いいのかよ大地。っていうか、チームとかって徐々になっていくもんだろ？分かってる。すみませんでした。こいつともちゃんと協力します。
Pushes him out of the way.
本音は？今のこいつと協力するぐらいなら、バイクもトスも全部俺一人でやれればいい。何言ってんのお前。 なんで本当に言っちゃうんだよ本音をいいと思うよそういうのボールを落としちゃダメ持ってもダメ一人が続けて二度触るのバレーボールでどうやって
Doors.
My God.
I like how they're not even that. I don't even think that they're that kind of door. They just go like that.
俺は戦力になる部に入る理由なんて十分だ
Okay, apparently he hasn't been humbled quite
No.
enough.
でもどうすんだ
俺たち二人で2対2の勝負を挑んで勝ったらいい一緒に戦えば嫌でも仲間っぽく見えるだろ
I mean, that's a pretty good idea.
先輩相手負けたらどうすんだ
負けねえよ俺がいる
マジかこいつ
できる限り全力で俺の足を引っ張らない努力をしろ
はあ
そこから眺めてるつもりか
中学で俺の出た前んとことも一回きりだそれまで人世界に申し込みもできなかったし場所もないからでも廊下でもいつも隅っこで練習
廊下
Yeah.
だから
Yeah, he's that good without ever playing on a team. Like,
自分が主役になったみたいでそこにいたかったけどちょっとくらい嫌なことだって俺は我慢できるお前がどうでも極力視界に入れないように頑張ろう
こっちのセリフだバカ野郎
そこどうしてくれる
is she a teacher?
I can't tell if she's.
Or
I think she.
coach?
I think we saw her earlier in like a school uniform,
Mm.
but she might be like assisting or
Yeah.
coaching or you know doing
今日
something.
も美しいっす
I love it when she ignores me. Yeah. What was that,
guy's
face?
face is
What
so
was
funny.
that
Even
face?
before, when they were
Yeah.
all getting freaked out, he was just like, he just has that smile.
They
on
just
his
did
face.
his pupils like I don't know what it was.
Let's do everything in sync. We've rehearsed this.
They literally did.
せーのって聞こえたんだでも負けたらどんなペナルティでも受けます他に2人1年が入る予定なんだそいつらと3対3で試合をやってんだ毎年新入問題児を牛耳るには田中くらいだと思ったんだけどな
Just gotta hype him up a little bit.
お前らが負けた時だけど少なくとも俺たち3年がいる間影山にセッターはやらせない
それだけ
個人技で勝負挑んで負ける自己中のやつがセッターじゃチームが勝てないからな
Yeah.
止めないって言ってるわけじゃないお前なら他のポジションだろ俺はセッターです勝てばいいだろ
That's a pretty good.
That's literally exactly what he told Hinata though. Like, if you want this blah blah blah, then just get better.
Yeah.
And now he's all shitty.
いいな
How long were they standing outside that door?
なんかさ
なんだよ自分ばっかペナルティあるから怒ってんのかでもお前別にセッターじゃなくて活躍できるんじゃねえの
That's why you didn't get a penalty.
セッター
The
Because
fact
nothing would be a penalty if you
Yeah.
wanted to get to play.
セッターはチームの司令塔だぞ僕ボールに触れるのがセッターだぞ支配者っぽくてかっこいいだろうがてめえだってセッター
you realize
exactly the
you're a
attitude.
first year, like the fact that you would be on the court is like, isn't that like a big deal to you?
でっかい試合生で見たことあるか
ない
わかりづらいけどコートのエンド側から見んだよただの超ハイエントスがよくわかるんだよ端までキュンって敵のブロックの目の前にボールが過ぎておいそれ本当に打てんのかってオフの先にはスパイカーが飛んでたよドカーンって
おお
確かにスパイカーはかっこいいけど敵のブロックを欺いてスパイカーの前の壁をしてかっこよくて面白いのがセッターだ
Passion.
お前が
Passionate boys. The anime.
今日までにお前のクソレシーブなんとかするぞ
ク
Putting him for receiving just because he has no faith in him.
それは7時かそうだけどいきなりなんだよいや京都のズラその話やめろ朝5時
Nice. I love that. That's awesome. We really gotta start practicing at 7 p.m. and everyone knows that actually means 5. I love it.
They're locked in. No, they can't get in.
Warm up time.
Outside.
田中さん
It was a test.
7時前には切り上げろよ
Oh, cause okay. No,
They
he
start
was
at
replying
7.
to them, yeah.
But he was saying it loud so that they would know
They would
that
know,
they had
right,
to go
right,
first.
もう一回
No, he really likes being called senpai because
He likes-
he's
yeah.
a second year. He was in their position like all year last year.
いつもお前らも去年の
They have a lot of potential. He can tell.
影山は中学生としていまいち結果は残せていないあの子で
Yeah.
That's why he keeps saying like, "Oh, you wasted the last 3 years." He's probably insecure about his own time in middle school. He probably feels like he wasted his
影
time,
山と同じチームに日向がいる運動神経の塊って感じですけど
but he has no real experience.
実力はまだまだだけど類いまれなスピードと反射神経を持つでも中学ではセッターに恵まれなかったそして影山を打てる速いスパイカーを求めてる僕じゃ不完全だけど
But together, they're better
Yeah.
than the sum of their parts.
コンビネーションが使えたカラスノは爆発的に進化する
Ooh.
そう思わないかおい時間ない
Hanging out on the farm. That's what the song, that's what the song sounds like. I don't know.
What is that? Just hanging out on the farm. What?
I don't know. It just sounds like that.
Why are you so funny?
It's what you pay me for.
Ha ha ha. Classic comedy. Just hanging out on the farm. Kyoko's pretty hot, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself.
I like this show. I like the ED as well. Just
Would you say
Sure.
you love this show so far?
I would say I love this show so far. It's a really fun show. I'm really loving it. It's a lot of fun. I liked this episode taking more time to just really flesh out the conflict, and it also sets sort of the pace because we start off with a lot happening. A lot of time passes in the first episode, and then it slows it down.
Yeah.
And I
Brings it
really
to a more
appreciate
realistic-
that. And there's not even necessarily a goal at this time. It's not even, oh, we have a game in 2 weeks. You guys better be good by then.
Yeah.
It's just, we're practicing and you're not allowed into practice.
They said
Until-
it's good because it's very realistic long-term goals, not
Yeah.
like, because in real life they don't have national competitions 2 weeks into the school year.
Yeah.
No, they have it far enough in. So it's cool. And I love it's great. So do you have anything more you want to say before I go on a rant?
Yeah, I guess I like the timing. I like the rivalry. I like, what's this guy's name?
Daichi,
Daichi.
meaning big guy, basically.
Okay, so Daichi is really cool. I like, he almost reminds me of Yamato a little bit. I don't know why, just the scary face.
Yeah, I was gonna make that joke,
blank
but
expression. I don't
I was
want to
gonna
make
say
everything
that
about
exactly.
Naruto.
That's why I didn't say it. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was gonna
know.
make a Rob from RTTV Yamato joke, but I didn't
feel
want to
bad,
do that every
but we
second.
did just watch Naruto.
Yeah.
So and he really reminded me of that, and I really like Yamato, and
I like
this kind
Daichi
of-
a lot. I love how
like
how
him.
strong of a leader he is. Like
Yeah,
he's
I
a
like
great
he's
leader.
and he's not just the super cool. He's not the Gojo or Kakashi.
Right.
Just too cool for school. He's like a dad type
Or a big
like
brother.
big brother leader guy who just sees what they need and gives it to them, but doesn't make it easy, doesn't explain it, but doesn't overcomplicate it or make it too crazy. And the fact
He leaves
that
it pretty open-ended of like
and
become a
he's very
good team.
wise as well as to impose a penalty to the person who the penalty would actually matter to. If Hinata was to get a penalty, you can't play a certain position. He wouldn't care. He just wants to play.
Yeah.
He's not the problem. He's not the main thing that's stopping those two from working together.
Yeah.
And I think just as a high schooler, being able to recognize that is very impressive, but I also don't feel like it's overdone to the point that he's just ridiculously almost omniscient in his abilities.
Like he's only a high schooler in name, in title only. Really, he could just be a teacher. He could be like like an adult person. And what I like that's introduced about him is that we immediately see like he immediately starts talking about him putting himself in the shoes of Hinata, and they immediately form that like connection. Well, they don't even form the connection, but Hinata forms that sort of attachment to him in a subtle way of like, he like, he's not like, just this random guy. He has the same dreams that I do. We have like the same aspirations of like reaching for the stars and stuff like that. And it's actually achievable. We're in the right place. He's a great guy, and all he wants is like he has his eyes on the prize. Yeah. And but it's not like he's clearly not an asshole about it. He's a great leader. Great.
He understands
guy.
The fact, and actually the other two guys as well, they understand that volleyball is a team sport.
Right.
So in order to win, not only you have to be the best you can be, you have to make sure everyone on the team is the best they can be. And part of that is getting along together. And because it's all about, one person receives the ball and then the setter sets it and then the last person spikes it down or whatever. So all three of those things have to happen in order for it to be really effective. So that you can't, like they said, you can't play it by yourself. You think you want to go out there and do everything, but you literally, you can't.
Yeah, so it's not about how great of a setter Kageyama is, or how great of a spiker Hinata is, or how much potential either of them have, despite like Hinata's lack of experience or Kageyama's narcissism. It doesn't that's not the actual goal. That's definitely like the aim is to sort of mitigate those personal issues, but the real goal is not just to do that. The real goal is to go past that and work together. That's cool. I was gonna go on a rant, or it wasn't really a rant, but it could have turned into one, but about like how again, like the classical, like the sports format, I've heard Super Eye Patch Wolf talk about this show a few times, and he put it perfectly, why like sports. He also talked about Hajime no Ippo, which apparently does like a similar thing. But I'm thinking of March Comes In Like a Lion, which is like a sports anime, but it's shogi, and it's more about like the personal struggles of the main guy, and the battles are not often like very shonen-y. Sometimes they get to that level, but they all share, from what I can see, like the similar storytelling motifs of like a shonen tournament-based like battle manga of, main guy, super, he's like the front man, and he has a lancer or like a rival who if they can get past their difference, work together, all this stuff. That's like basic, but they're even going a step further, and it was reincorporated or restated in this one. The little giant, he was hinted at in the first one, but it's a similar thing of this like guy who was here, who like he's basically like because this school is like kind of fallen from grace. It's like they need to. It's the classic thing in shonen or in like hero's journey storytelling of like resurrecting the spirit of the father. So in this case, like the one who came before, the one who achieved all of this greatness before, the one that is inspiring you and has that same spirit that you can of the heights that you can reach. This road has been paved before, but it's fallen into like chaos. It's fallen into disarray. and it's up to the hero, the prince, the whatever, to sort of walk down that road and reclaim that fallen territory, the desolated kingdom. Like in Lord of the Rings, like Aragorn has to like take up that mantle of king.
Yeah.
And even though he doesn't, like in that case, he's reluctant to do it, etc., etc. Like there's all it's a motif that's used in a lot of different shonen storytelling or a lot of this type of thing. And I think it's really cool that they're finding again a super normal, like that's the thing is we watch a lot of fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool to see a like normal take on that same motif. So like they're a volleyball team. They're not like, they don't have a sword, they don't have magic and all this shit. They're jumping and hitting a ball and together. So like seeing these grander sort of fairy tale fantastic ideals of accepting responsibility and taking up a mantle, etc., put in a more realistic context, is usually those are so fantastic, and then you apply them to your normal life. That's why like fantasy is so effective at that. But to like do this kind of subversive thing, and I know this isn't the first thing to do that. All rant's almost over. One more thing. To take these ideas that were meant to be this sort of fantastical, larger than life, very metaphoric type things of everything that I stated, and bring them, instead of like having the audience bring them into their own life, taking that into a realistic context closer to like what a normal high schooler might be feeling, it makes it more relatable and it makes it less sort of abstract, and it's cool to see that in this format.
And I also, similar, or like going off of that, it's good because it's still very, like, there's still like a story of it, and it's like, you know, nicely presented and everything, but it is more accessible, I feel. If you're watching this, it's very directly applicable. When you're watching I don't know, someone like training with a sword or magic or something like that, I think it's easier to get distracted by the fantasy element or the things that you can't do, because you can't learn magic like these people can. So it makes it seem even like subconsciously slightly less attainable. It's not, but in this, you're seeing, oh, he wanted to play volleyball, and so he just spent all of his time playing volleyball, and now he's getting really good. And that's more directly applicable to say, oh, I want to get really good. There's this one thing that I really want to do. Okay, well, maybe I should just do it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how good. And already in just the first episode, we got, you know, doing what you can is better than not doing anything. And it's better than staying the same.
Yeah.
And I really like that message, and the fact that it's about something just very simple. He's just playing volleyball, and he was doing it by himself in the corner, and then he was brave enough to take the next step and playing with not the ideal people that he wants to play with, but anything is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And I like that a main character to be aware enough and want it enough that he will do anything, even if it's embarrassing or not what he necessarily wants to do or thinks is the cool thing to do. He does it because he loves what he's doing so much, and he's willing to put in the work. And that's something that's a little bit different than certain other characters that we've seen that are like give up kind of easily or get distracted, or like, oh, this is taking so long to get good at this thing. It seems that it doesn't matter how long it takes, because the action of doing it is enough.
Yeah.
And I like that.
I like that as a main character. It's
not to compare it to Naruto again, but like similar to Rock Lee of
right.
The training is part.
Yeah, it's
of
just
the
as fulfilling as
just,
victory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And even if you lose, you don't lose if you don't like lose spirit and lose the determination to keep going.
Yeah.
I love that for the main character, because it makes the determination and passion that he has seem very real, because he's putting in the work without anyone telling him to.
Yeah.
Forever, for like as long as his character's been a thing, that's what he's been doing, and I like that.
Yeah, it's cool to see. It's one thing that is definitely different than, again, if we're talking about Naruto in this context, like as a sort of cookie cutter, more classical style shonen, and this is more like sports taking things a step in a new direction. It's like Naruto as a main character in like a shonen type storytelling is, and a lot of things follow this sort of trajectory where it starts out and the main character is like kind of shitty and relatable. He's not very skilled, but you can relate to him on a personal level because he has his own hardships. He maybe is bad in school, etc., etc. There's a lot of things that a normal kid could relate to. And then you see him grow and get stronger, and over the course of the story, he goes from being a guy that you relate to a guy that you used to relate to and like still have this sort of connection to, but now eventually they become an aspirational person where they're like something that you want to be like, and the fact that you used to relate to them allows you to see yourself in a similar light, and maybe you could be this aspirational larger than life person and who achieves their goals and is really competent in what they set out to do. In this, it's a little bit different and it's cool and I like it because Hinata is not the classical relatable guy in that sense. It didn't start out with him being like, I mean, it did for a little bit, but really the start of the story is he is very talented and has a lot of things against him, but he's really talented and he has a lot of promise, and he's somebody that is very aspirational. He's someone that you would want to be more like.
You already, from the first like scene you see of him, you already want to be like him.
Yeah.
And he has that effect on other people too, clearly.
With his
friends
buddies
who had no idea about volleyball, but he
They were
was
just
so
inspired by him,
passionate.
yeah.
And it wasn't even that he inspired them to want to play volleyball. He inspired them to want to help him reach his goal, which I also liked.
Yeah.
It's not, they didn't see him play volleyball and think, oh, now I want to play volleyball. They thought, he deserves to play volleyball on a team, so I will give him that team, even if I don't care about this sports. He needs someone to play with, and I like that as well.
It's like
That's
it's
really
just cool. It's just cool seeing a show, and I imagine that this trend kind of continues. But as a young adult, as somebody who's been out of high school for a while, who is like, that's all in my past. Like, to see a show like this that is really popular and is coming out, and it was probably just coming out when I was still technically in high school, the first season, but to see a show like this that is like at the top of popularity or near the top of popularity, that, you know, a lot of kids in high school are seeing as like something to aspire to is really cool. I like that. It makes me really hopeful, and it makes like out of the context of the show itself, it's cool that this is like, the whole point of this is to inspire people to be somebody who is passionate. That passion is awesome. That passion is cool and badass and not like cringy, because a lot of people like,
it's not embarrassing. I mean,
like
even if
something.
it is embarrassing to practice volleyball in the hallway 24/7 at your school, it pays off and is fulfilling, and you shouldn't let that stop you. And I agree. I think that's a really good message, and I like that there's no beating around the bush to it. It's just, that's who he is, and it's awesome.
And we hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get some episodes ahead. You can get even further episodes ahead if you go to the uncut tier, because the uncut episodes for this and all of our shows are posted usually at the top of the week, Monday or Sunday. So you can get all a week's worth of videos on Sundays for uncuts, and then the edits a week ahead if you go to Patreon. Link in the description. Leave a like, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed most of all. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
See you in the next one. Bye-bye.